Doodly doo 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 doo. Time to get your Clix fix.
All right, welcome back to Clix Fix. I'm Rory. Today we're going to be doing another team build of one awesome Clix. If you haven't seen the other videos that do that, I'm taking like the concept of building a team around one really cool figure that you get in a sealed game or just in a random booster that you picked up. So you get that one awesome figure. You don't have all the meta stuff that could really make that figure super incredible, but you want to play with them and you have a budget. So you got to fill it with some other good stuff that you can afford. Today, we're going to be looking at the Prime Rogue, this figure. Not, an incredibly amazing sculpt, but she's pretty cool. She's got the energy coming off her hands more than the regular non-prime version. But yeah, let's take a look at Rogue. Okay, so we're looking at her powers real quick. She got Cosmic Energy, Brotherhood, Team Abilities, just the two keywords, Brotherhood of Mutants, X-Men. We're going to be doing an X-Men team build because there's just a lot more available for her to do X-Men. And for the most part, I'm going to be doing theme teams with these one awesome Clix builds. She's got this awesome trait, stealth and super senses from I Don't Need Your Help, Charles. I wish I had remembered that. I played with her last week and I had forgotten that she had stealth. I think that could have kept her from dying in one of my games, which would have been really great. Gloves have come off. When Rogue hits, the hit characters can't use displayed powers until your next turn. That's everything that's showing on the dial, whether it's a standard power or a special power. If the hit character was equipped, unequip their equipment. There's a lot of equipment out there. Really good to just unequip them. When Rogue hits, choose a standard power printed on a hit character's card. Rogue can use the chosen power this game. So she's only got one target. So normally you're just going to be taking a power from that one target that you hit. But with this team, I'm going to try something a little different, which you can probably see. But let's keep going on with her card. She's got special defense power, stop, invincible. When this click is revealed after resolutions, remove an action token from Rogue, which is awesome, which then lets her hopefully steal energy to get back above the stop click so that they have to deal with it again. That is the hope there. Also, she breaks through blocking terrain when she moves, which is awesome as well. So that's Rogue. With this team, I wanted her to hit more people and take away more powers, even though she can only take a power and copy it for the whole game from one character that she hits in an attack. But I give her the pumpkin bombs. I saved 5 points left over to give her pumpkin bombs to give her steal energy. What am I saying? To give her energy explosion. So she can hit a group of characters, get rid of all their powers, hit them for 2, and then take 1 power from one of them. As you can see on this team, I'm playing her at, or including her at 175 points. You could do her at 250, just have a very small group of support figures, but having her start off with hypersonic speed and higher defense, precision strike, all fun. That's a fine choice. There's not what I'm doing with this team. Moving on to the next character, we got Havoc, 50 points, not the 100, from the X of Swords OP event set thing. He was always a fun character to get in the Battle Royales because I mean, battle royales, you start him up here on his 100-point click. But being able to use energy explosion and penetrating psychic blast, he's also been a character I love to give the pumpkin bombs to, so he does 3 damage to them. And he can boost his range and damage by 2 with the rally. And yep, he's just a really solid figure to include on a team. 50 points. He could also be part of a Brotherhood team. Now this one next is also from the X of Swords OP event set. I believe this one is now banned in Pulp, Mr. Sinister. 45 points, and you get this ridiculous rally die. So whenever you roll a 1, you can save it, and then once a turn, you can give it to an opponent when they roll an attack. And it's ridiculous because he doesn't have to see them at all anywhere on the map. You just give them 1. He's also our source of leadership and outwit for this team, which is great. And then moving on to the last figure included on the team, the source of Perplex, playing Jubilee from the same Deadpool Weapon X set as Jubilee. In one sealed game I went to, I played against this Prime Rogue with Jubilee, and she just kept letting Rogue hit, and then she would barrier around Rogue so I couldn't retaliate against Rogue. And then when she was all full up on action tokens, you'd have Richter do the same thing, and it was dumb. Anyway, that was one ridiculous game that I played. So with this team, you can kind of do a little bit of that too. Have Rogue go in, then have Jubilee barrier up around her, keep her safe. That is the basic team. The problems that you might want to be aware of if you play this team or want to adjust it. It doesn't have probability control on the team. So, might be something you want to look at. No telekinesis either. This is also unless you steal it. I mean, both games that I was playing with my Prime Rogue last week, I just stole probability control from the other team. So you might not have to worry about that. Telekinesis, I don't see why you would steal it from somebody else, but you might want to include it on your team to get Rogue in there into the fight pretty quick. And there are some options for doing that here with some alternative pieces you might want to include. So this Pumpkin Bombs kind of deviates a little from my normal one awesome Clix builds because, as you see, gold, it's considered super rare. But, I mean, there's so many other things you could do instead. Like if you want to take off Pumpkin Bombs and Mr. Sinister and just do another 50-point figure, which there are a bunch of, you can do that. If you're doing silver, you could use the Reality Gem to give her another target, which is another option. Or the batons from the Spider-Man set, same as the Pumpkin Bombs. That gives her another target as well. Pumpkin Bombs, basically, besides Rogue and Jubilee, the rest of this team is going to be rotating out of Modern really soon. So if you're doing only Modern builds, this won't last too long. But there's a lot of great stuff that can be on an X-Men team with just this new set too. So let's go through some of those. If you have access to super rares, other things like that you've also pulled, I've included a few here that shouldn't be incredibly, costly to get a hold of, or at least borrow from a friend maybe. Banshee, I played with him in Sealed. He's a lot of fun. He's not too overpowered. He's 50 points. He's got leadership too, so you get rid of Mr. Sinister, you keep leadership with him, but being able to choose Pulse Wave or just ignore a bunch of hindering for his attacks, he's a fun piece. He goes down, like once people get in on him, he goes down fast, but he's only 50 points. Same with Domino, but she, I think, might be a little bit harder to get a hold of because she's freaking awesome. She comes with her special die that has 3 6s and a 5. When she uses her probability control. So if you need prob on the team or you want to include prob and you have her, she's also a great choice. I'd use her probably instead of Havoc if you have her. Long Shot, also a lot of fun. He's also a source of prob for your team. And some Perplex. And if he uses it on himself and you roll his die and get a 3, there's some extra effects here, which are a lot of fun. Sidestep, Leap, Climb. Getting him in there is a little difficult, only 4 range, but he's got 3 targets. Precision Strike. 3 targets, Precision Strike is nothing to sneeze at. Another one from that same set, skip down here. I just got a hold of him, Professor X. I'd be doing it at 35 points because you can give all your X-Men, Starjammers, and then all X-Men and Starjammers will then get the Shield Team ability because it'd be awesome to pump up Rogue's range to a 7. So she can shoot from a little farther away, maybe stay away from charged flurry pieces that are out there. And he's got Outwit when you do that. So I would totally support having Professor X on a team with Rogue. From older sets, still modern for now, Hope. She's going to be a little harder to get a hold of, at least while she's still modern. For 40 points, she's just awesome. Being able to copy powers, she's just awesome. Mastermind leadership. I never got a hold of her, but if I did, she'd be definitely fun to include on this team. Deadpool is also another way to help keep rogues safe if you're not on a map that has hindering for rogue stealth, or if your opponent has stealth busters. Get Deadpool on there and hope you got some water terrain so that your friendly characters can have the dolphin symbol and be protected from super ranged crazy pieces. So he's a good one. 40 points. I've never played with him, but he's a lot of fun. I've seen him play. Now, for other alternative pieces that you could use with Rogue and, make it still a fun team, but, still keep out of the pricier range of pieces. These are all commons, uncommons, and rares. Prodigy, being able to copy some powers from opponents. Always fun. Get your Outwit as well. 35 points. Peeper, extend Rogue's movement when she's doing a running shot if she carries him. That's always a fun thing to do as well. Magic, if you want to use her as a taxi for the rest of the team, and she's got a Perplex in there for you. This Colossus, a lot of fun to get onto his stop click. Use the rally to support. He's just super fun piece. Cypher, get your enhancement in there if you want to boost up the damage for the range for Rogue. He's awesome. And then, inevitably some figures are going to be coming in and just getting up in her face. His Empower can increase her damage there. Having both options is awesome. Manifold, I think, would be a really good choice, just at 30 points, because then he can give her combat reflexes for when your opponents get up in your face, especially if you're hiding her in stealth. They have to get up in her face. Then you just give her combat reflexes, and it's even harder to hit her. So, yeah, Manifold. I wish he was 25 points. Well, 25 points, he'd just be ridiculous. Dazzler. Can't sneeze at Pulse Wave. That gives out tokens. She's awesome, and she's got the enhancement as well. Iceman is a fun one. He has the enhancement to boost Rogue's damage, as well as his unique modifier, which is fun to give characters that aren't using any special powers. Then they get their attack +1. And most of the time, Rogue doesn't have any special powers except for her stops. So she's going to get attack +1. She just carries Iceman around. She's going to be swinging 14 attack for 6 damage at range. So, yeah. Then if you need to fill anywhere on an X-Men team, have a few multiple men on there. Have, say, at least 2 so you can have a chance of getting his trait to work once one dies. Jean Grey, if you need some telekinesis, she's a solid piece. I don't have her, but she's also got the enhancement. Wolverine, I love playing with this Wolverine from the set in Sealed. Doing blades and then dealing another person like half of the blades. Yeah, he's fun. And just 50 points. Got the Jubilee. Psylocke, she is a rare, not a super rare like the color looks like on her dial, but she is a solid rare too. A lot of fun to play with. I mean, mind control. Mind control. Always fun to mind control people. But if you use the Colossus from this set, I mean, you only have, on a 300-point team, you got Rogue at 175, Colossus at 100, you only have 25 points left over. But still, you put him next to Rogue, and then all of a sudden she can reduce penetrating. And she's got a 19 defense instead. So that's fun too. I mean, his defense is susceptible to outwit, but still. Fun piece. He was very effective against me when I was playing against him in Sealed with the Banshee team that I had. Just, I didn't have outwit. Couldn't get through his stuff. Yeah. So that's the kind of stuff that I would play with Rogue. Let me know. What would you play with Rogue? How would you change this team? Maybe just depending on what you have available. Or what would you do after rotation, which they announced is coming up? So instead of the Pumpkin Bombs, Havoc, Mr. Sinister, what would you do with just the modern X-Men? Or even if you wanted to do Brotherhood. Or even if you didn't want to do a theme team. So much you can do. She's not really a meta piece just because she costs so much that once she dies, your team is like, ugh, not gonna do well. Gonna be struggling if they take her down. Like if you're going up in a mirror match and you have Rogue going up against Rogue, it's almost like whichever one hits the other first is gonna win because she'll get rid of all the other one's powers, even the stop click. If Rogue hits Rogue, those stop clicks are not there anymore, and they just go right through her. So say they hit her for 6, put her right onto that second stop click, but it's not there. It doesn't exist until her next turn. And if you get to hit her again, then she's dead. So there's a lot of stuff these days that kind of ignores powers. Like the Magneto that we did a team building video on. He can ignore the defensive powers. If you're playing the assassins with Talon and they choose the target as Rogue, all of a sudden whoever is getting targeted doesn't have any defense powers. Lots of things going on here. Lots of ways to take down Rogue, but she's still just super fun to play with. So, yeah. Let me know what you might want to see another team building for one really cool figure that you played. Something you pulled. Something you got, you don't really know what to do with, but you want to play more casually. Or if you're a new player and you don't have a huge collection and just get easy access to commons, uncommons, and rares. So, yeah, let me know in the comments, and we will see what we can do. Anyway, I hope you guys had a great Clix fix in this video, and we'll see you next time. Bye.